Good Wednesday morning, ladies and gentlemen. Throttle up. Let's get airborne for day three of a mistake full throttle. Just bumped into a close friend at yoga, and she was asking about how to join, which is awesome. Good supporter of our foundation, all we're doing. I'm like, man, I guess I needed to do a better job uh, explaining all the memberships and stuff. So that's where I want to start real quick before we get airborne for the folks who are new, because we did have a bunch of folks sign up. So Monday was solo Amazon. Yesterday was primary. Today is AR, accelerated retirement brief. Um, and actually, you got to see a pretty good demo of what we do because I didn't open with a bunch of here's TGO, here's me, and all the sales stuff. So I just treated you like you were a regular member. But let me give you just a 5 minute dump of the programs and services, and then we'll go ahead and knock out our AR brief. I just saw before we get airborne, let me rant real quick. The CEO of Cracker Barrel should be fired, like should have been fired last week, and all the board members should be replaced. So the CEO is either a liar or an idiot, right? Because did you see her with the rebrand that rolled out? So allegedly, or not allegedly, it's a public company, CRBL or whatever the ticker is. Um, they paid millions and millions of dollars to some consulting firms to help come up with this crap. So either they failed to do a proper market survey. If you surveyed your customers and did focus groups, either you didn't or you didn't survey your focus group and your customers. It's insane to me. And then to see it's always the birth control liberal glasses that as soon as I saw her, I'm like, got it. Um, 2 weeks ago or whenever it was, she's like, it's we're hearing rave reviews. So you're either a liar or you're an idiot. Again, there is no third choice. We're hearing great reviews. And then, like days later, after the entire country blew up, did you see the Democrat? I follow all this stuff. I got to see what the other side's looking at. The DNC Twitter account or the Democrats big account on Twitter is like, yeah, just so everybody knows, we hate it too. Well, the CEOs, oh, it's a small minority, and oh my God, how did these people get to? Well, I know, past 4 years, what this country was nuts, like nuts. And then to see Bud Light, 100 and what was it, Augustus? How old was Budweiser? My God, hundreds, 150-year-old company, Bud Lighted, man, by a dude pretending to be a chick. This is corporate. If I was a shareholder in Cracker Barrel, I should have just bought a share as this was going on and then filed a shareholder lawsuit, man, like they did to Elon in Delaware. Are you insane? You have a fiduciary duty to your shareholders. So I just had to bring that up because I saw, sorry, and good on him. I mean, they didn't Bud Light it for months, and I don't think he's still. He was a vet. I think he was a CIA dude too. The CEO of Budweiser is an idiot. He never really fully came out and said they always danced around well, we're going to move. I heard rumors that they might even be engaging Sydney Sweeney, the American Eagle girl, to come save Budweiser. The guy never fell on his sword. He kind of did, like, well, ultimately, I'm like, no, no. Did you or did you not mess up, man? It's a simple yes or no. So if you're looking at Cracker Barrel or trading it, I mean, they they caved, but man, it's just. Oh, is that what it is, John? I didn't see that. The CEO's friend runs a consulting firm. She should be fired. She should be sued. Again, if I was a hedge fund and it's a nice stable stock, Cracker Barrel, let's park some of our money there. I'd be like, what did you just do? You lost 14% of my money. I'm suing you. And that might happen. This might be why they shifted pretty quickly. Because I did see, I forget the name, there was a couple of big hedge funds in that. And man, If I was Bobby Axelrod and I was in that, I'd be infuriated. But again, if you've shameless plug, if you read my first book, From Sea Level to Sea Level, I go through these type of I've never I have zero time to write another book, but my God, it would be chock full of all of this bullshit, this crap. You spent how much on this rebrand? Did you talk to anybody when the Democrats, when everybody in this country is laughing at you? There's no way you did anything right. Whatever. What do you need to trade successfully? Real quick, folks. Training. I didn't say education. I said training. We do financial education. Well, you suck. No. Fighter pilots are trained, doctors are trained, plumbers are trained. We had a plumber here the other day, man. It's a skill set. Training gives you a skill, education gives you nothing. Look at Harvard. We take a building block approach. It's called Options Weapons School. I just added a ninth session. There used to be six, now there's nine sessions in Options Weapons School because I do some good shit and I add it over there. I added S&P 500, my swing sniper shot trading that I've been doing for decades, and it's nice. I usually go on streaks, man, like 30 in a row, and then that one blew up in my face, which is fine when you do 30 in a row. Anyway, I added what we did yesterday to Options Weapons School. Did everybody have fun doing that? Isn't that awesome? As we start getting up to record highs, man, these one by twos or these put back spreads, some of the high flying names. I love how some of the members yesterday said, "Can we do this on Bitcoin?" Hell yeah, baby. Go find a Bitcoin something ETF, whatever that has options, and go do that. So training, you need to be trained if you want to be successful. You need a plan. When you join, or I think when you opted in for Full Throttle this week, you got a trade plan. We have a 7-step trade plan. It's over there. I go through it, man. I write stuff down on my kneeboard card. Hey, man, I got my Amazon Iron Condor on here for the week when I potentially get out for profit, lose or minimum loss. You need a plan. We have a trade plan. You're going to get it. Practical application. All right, man, I got some solid training in Options Weapons School. I got my trade plan. Now, what do I do? Let's go practically apply it in what? A live trade brief. Monday, solo Amazon. Tuesday, primary. Wednesday, AR, accelerated retirement. How dare you tell me what I need to trade successfully? Make a bet. I've been you. I'd go read that's how old I am, folks. I drive to the base library because Al Gore didn't invent the internet yet. I'm reading a book on how to trade stocks or options, Macmillan on options, folks. Um, and then I rose from being a self-taught retail trader, a young lieutenant in the United States Navy, to the managing director of a multi-billion-dollar Wall Street volatility arbitrage firm, right? So here's what we look like. On the left side of that Chinese wall is our training arm. Make sure you open a virtual account. Every broker, I don't think there's a broker out there that doesn't have a virtual or paper trading account. It's the simulator building. I didn't read a book on flying the Hornet and run out to the airplane. I read a book on flying the Hornet and ran over to the simulator building. That's what you got to do. So in our training arm, solo Amazon, it's our gateway drug. It's 97 bucks a month, 970 for a year. You get a nice discount there. And we only trade, say it with me, Amazon. It's the Death Star, takes over everything it touches, or it destroys it, or it builds a better one of whatever that was. And then Full Throttle, right? When you're ready, and you might be ready today to go execute using real capital, we have a couple investment clubs. You can join the Hunters today. Okay, that's the $4.97 kick a tire each month, or I'm jumping in with $29.95 for the annual. We just did a Max Afterburner. That's our lifetime membership promo last year. James, Steve, and Linda, our new lifetime members, were done. Or it's back up to the full price of $20,000. No donation to the foundation. It's back at the regular. Somebody actually emailed the other day. I'm like, yeah, it's this. And they're like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, listen to me when I talk. Paper trading, solo Amazon. Here you are under Full Throttle. I'm going to change that right now. It's not 7. Look, you're already getting value here. It's not 7 options weapon school sessions. It's now 9er. Did I hear a 9er? You did. Options weapon school and the live trade briefs. This is how you trade successfully. I get world leading training and I get access to live trade briefs. It's called OWS, Options Weapons School. That patch looks like the patch from the Strike Fighter Wing Pacific Weapons School. Building block approach. Wiz, I don't even know what the hell an option is, man. That put back spread yesterday threw me for a loop. Well, here's the basics. Sessions 1 and 2. Then we take that building block approach all the way down to now you got 8 and 9 down here, right? I actually put it right here. The synthetic, after synthetic stock, I put that put back spread in there. Did everybody see that? Let me just go show you what that looks like for all the new members. So when you join today, because you're so blown away by everything, you go underneath learning right here. You scroll down and it says Options Weapons School. And you click on it right there. Start watching. And there you go. Over here on the right, we'll pop up all of the sessions. There's session 1. There's session 2. And then, like I said, scroll all the way down. That's what I did. Options Weapons School 7. Bearish put back spread or 1x2. We always called it a 1x2, but you guys know me. I like labeling things so you know when I say, hey, a 1x2, people could be like, I have no idea what that means. Put back spread. Okay. Session 8 is my sniper shots, man. How we sniper shot, which we're probably going to do in a couple minutes, up at 6480. Because the S&P 500 is running out of airspeed in this run right now to 64.75. So you're going to learn how I do that. And then how I manage them is in session 9. Okay. So again, Options Weapons School, you can download your manuals right there. You get access to your 3 manuals, which are awesome. I go reread those things. That's what I had to do over the weekend. I blew up the dust off of my Chicago manuals and I think it was in the advanced workbook. Right there. You get your manuals. Boom. And here's the live trade briefs in Full Throttle. We were in primary yesterday. Now we're in AR today, accelerated retirement. Usually longer dated trades or potentially explosive trades that could pay for your retirement, man. Bullish on America trade, psychedelics, all that stuff. And then as we talked about, solo Amazon's on Monday. It's not part of Full Throttle. It's its own separate service. It's a gateway drug like we talked about. Remember, you get access to an app. It's called Go Collab, right? The Go Collab app, you download it on your phone. We got all our threads right here. Here's what the Hunters looks like over here. You can join the Hunters today. Okay, that's one of our investment clubs. This is the lifetime. We got 200 and what, 16, 18 people now in there. Love it. Go to Trustpilot. We have over 100 reviews. Same thing on Facebook. Oh, I've lost my 8th Facebook account. No idea what I did. Woke up one day, cyber, whatever, no appeal, gone. Third, whatever, how many Facebook accounts I've lost. I've been on their list forever, man. Okay, any questions on how to join or anything like that? Let me just review it real quick. The investment to get airborne. So let's start in the middle. This is where almost everybody ends up, man. Period. It's $29.95 per year. That's you're saving money. Wiz, I want access to the investment club, the Hunters, but I want to try it out for a couple months. Great. That's what this is. But clearly, if you do this for a year, you're an idiot. You should have upgraded into that. You're not an idiot to me. I love you if you do $497 a month for 12 months. That's first of all, you're going to make that probably in a month, but this is why we do the annual. Okay. This is the real tire kicker. $295 a month. You do not get access to the Hunters. Okay. That's the main difference there. Okay. And then obviously I already talked about solo Amazon. It's 97 bucks a month. Let me give you the links to all those and then we're going to get airborne. Here's the Full Throttle page. And then solo Amazon, 97 bucks a month. Let's go. Trade groups, solo Amazon, 97 bucks a month. I highly recommend you do the annual at 970. But the annual Full Throttle and the annual solo Amazon save you money. But if you're like, dude, I just showed up this morning, I have no idea who you are, do try everything out for a month or two, discover I'm not an idiot, and then you can get airborne after that. Okay. Bit O. Is that when you're trading, Bruce? That's awesome. Rick, seems you do 2 types of snipers, the 246 turn and a spread for melt up or melt down. You got it, Rick. You nailed it. That's exactly what I do. Okay. I thought this was interesting. I love Trump, man. I mean, I'm not one of those type, you know what I mean? I love watching this. Did you see what he did, his True Social? George Soros with his scumbag son. George Soros and his wonderful radical left son should be charged with RICO because of their support of violent protests and much more all throughout the US. We're not going to allow these lunatics to rip apart America anymore, never giving it so much as a chance to breathe and be free. Soros and his group of psychopaths have caused great damage to our country. That includes his crazy West Coast friends. Be careful. We're watching you. Thank you for your attention in this matter. Holy crap. So, guess what happened? Bill Gates was at the White House 2 days ago. What happened after he left the White House? He cut ties with Arabella Advisors. Who's Arabella Advisors? They, so the Gates Foundation has funneled a shit. Look at this. The Gates Foundation has plowed 450 million into this network. What do? Oh, they're nonprofit entities ranging from climate change, radical climate change groups to abortion, and they support these permanent the protesters. Have you seen the ads? One ad, people for a protest, $300 a day. All that it's all bullshit, folks. It's insane. So yeah, and it's funny because with all this shit, Pam Bondi, love her or hate her, she said a couple months ago, she's like, we're looking in because how many times have we seen in these protests? I've seen it. CNN, MSNBC won't cover it. How many times have you seen like magically on this corner, a pallet of bricks was just dropped off out of the back of a U-Haul? Those are deadly effing weapons. Mysteriously, there'd be riot gear and bricks. They didn't spawn. They didn't appear out of thin air. God doesn't work like that. Unbelievable. So they cut ties. He left the White House and cut ties. So this is like the No Kings Front group bagged 114 million from this Arabella company, middle person. Where is it? The Gates. Well, no. The move to sever ties was a business decision that reflects our regular strategic assessments of partnerships and operating models. The New York Times report on Arabella comes hours after Gates met with Trump on Tuesday. They sent out an email to their employees. Where is it? That said, yeah. Oh my God, this is just so funny. Technically, not technically. Again, the no one is above the law crowd doesn't like when they're considered no one. This is all RICO, all these protests and being funded. Holy shit, man. This is big because if the money dries up, these things might actually go away. Because I guarantee you, the Justice Department's looking into this Act Blue and all that. Did you see the report yesterday that the DNC is still paying off Kamala Harris's debt? They just like sent her 15 million bucks. The lady, what did she spend in 73 days or whatever it was, 93 days? $1 billion. Well, I had to pay Oprah $3 million to appear. I had to pay, what's her name, Beyonce? Oh, I thought they were Democrats and they just loved you. Anyway, shoot that sniper. Let's go look. Let me just get. If I see something, I'm gonna. If see something, say something. I am. SPX. We just ran right up to it, baby. Look at that. Now it's gonna fail. Let's go look. If we hit that with airspeed, there's a periscope. Just wait a couple seconds. I'm gonna get one teed up though for today. Let's go look at the Max Payne real quick before I forget for today. Looks like we're going to get a periscope up to it. We'll see if we fail. What's today? The 27th. This page takes forever to build. 6480. That's exactly where I was going to shoot it, but we're going to add $5 because we just popped through it. If we pop through something, a 25 with airspeed, let's see. There's the red. 8085 is way too aggressive. I do 85.90 at $1.25, 15 contracts. $1.25. Stop. Damn it. It can turn quick. Ooh, 30. Good. Show that in my personal account. Well, let me blast this out first. Where are we? Hunters. So let me give you it. So if you do the 295 a month or solo Amazon, you're not going to get any of this. This is for the hunters, right? The hunters in a lifetime, folks, get immediate whenever I a open a trade or close a trade. You guys get it immediately here. Now, since the lifetime members are in the hunters, I don't double alert, but I still post it. New SPX Day Bear call spread. I at everyone. It's still getting a little run here, but that's okay. It's $1.30 credit, plus or minus about 10 cents. What's that mean? I'd go as low as $1.30. I'd go as high as $1.40. If it's above $1.40 or below $1.20, I won't do these strikes. I'd either roll them up or down, 5, $10. Okay, so that's what that means. And then I put maybe eject at 260. Okay. That goes in the trade alerts thread. I'm going to copy it. So I put it in the lifetime group as well. Because this is a monster run in the S&P 500 right now on really no news. Okay, so again, new SPX day bear call spread. And I just paste it in there. And there we go. All right, let's get back to the brief. NVIDIA. So great discussion yesterday on NVIDIA. Go watch the primary brief. Go watch Options Weapon School 7 now about our 1x2 that we did all the way out into the future. Okay. And why I chose what D26 expiration and all sorts of, what a great tactic, not a strategy. It's a tactic. The strategy is what? The AI bubble is going to pop. Strategy is high level. It's 100,000 feet. A tactic supports a strategy. Don't ever, if you go anywhere else, you're an idiot. But if they say today's option strategy, close, hit the X in the top right and leave that brief. They're an idiot if they use the word option and strategy. It's a tactic, right? So we have NVIDIA earnings after market close. Whoever put it was a big green candle, take a look right now. It's a big red handle. It's exactly why we do this. Boom. Through back. Now we'll probably chop a little bit before it decides what it's really going to do. I think it's going to fade, obviously, or I wouldn't have done the trade. So I have zero idea what's going to go on with NVIDIA earnings today. However, because somebody asked, and I responded last night as I was watching the last couple Dallas Cowboys things on Netflix. That was a good, fantastic docuseries. However, I am going to tell you, we got to run up in earnings here, right? Let's not look at a 3-month chart. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, I've been doing this for 34 years, over 30 years. When in the vast majority of human events, I've seen a stock do that in the earnings, the vast majority of the time, it sells off. I don't care if the earnings are disgusting. I don't care if they suck. I don't care. Folks, it's not even a whizism. It's a Wall Streetism. You can call it a whizism. Buy the rumor, sell the news. I hear NVIDIA is going to have great earnings. Me too. So let's bid it up. Breaking news, closing bell just sounded NVIDIA printed money and the stock's off 20% after hours. What? That's why retail traders who don't know what they're doing and they trade by themselves hate Wall Street. Whiz, I got it right. NVIDIA blowout earnings and I lost money. The stock's going down. Yeah, duh. The small minority of the time, stocks run up in earnings, print great earnings, and keep going. Or stock runs up, small minority of the time, stock runs up in earnings, sucks, and goes up. What? Ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you of 2080 if you're new. And you're going to watch this afternoon. After you join, you're going to be in the hunters, and we'll talk about this when they report earnings. So, ladies and gentlemen, 20% of what happens this afternoon with NVIDIA is in the past. Nobody cares. That's why sometimes you'll see in after hours as they report earnings, X, Y, and Z happens. And then it reverses or gets worse. Why? Because the rest of the earnings call is to the right side of the chart. It's forward looking. Sometimes I'd even say it's 1090. The only people who care about how they did in the past are people trading before market open and after market close. 90% of the people, the market cares about what? What do you think's next? I've told you repeatedly, the market is never what? Present. They are not mindful. The market is not mindful. We're going to look at the past briefly, and then we're going to race right to the future. Man, enjoy the present moment, baby. Take your maverick mind. Nope. What's the forward guidance? So, having said all of that, somebody's like, shouldn't we wait until earnings tomorrow? No. This is a 1 by 2, a ratio spread, a putback spread, a year and a half into the future. I'm saying a year and a half into the future, or whenever between today and a year and a half into the future, the bubble pops and NVIDIA gives some of this massive rally back, or it doesn't. I don't know. It would be the first time in 34 years of me trading and in probably the history of markets and commerce that a bubble doesn't pop. That, folks, that can happen. Wiz, you're wrong. The AI bubble was the only bubble never to pop. I was wrong. And I guarantee I'll still make money. I like being wrong. And I just showed you how yesterday what was it, the DEES or June 27 NVIDIA 1 by 2 was for a credit. Wait a minute. You could be wrong. The AI bubble didn't pop and it goes up and you made money. Yeah, you can. So actually, let's go look real quick at what's the market saying today for NVIDIA, the at the money straddle. It's literally right in between 180, 182 and a half. It's about 11 or 12 bucks. Straddle. And of course, this is out the Friday, but still, earnings are after market close. And we need to go to AUG 29. What did I say? 12 bucks? Yeah, I do this for a living. So what's that mean, folks? That's double it. That's $24. Look at the Elizabeth Warren TP here. She's going to be on CNBC. I love watching that lady. So it's not technically, we're not rated 180. We're a little off. So this at the money straddle's a little off. But folks, the options market, not Wiz, the options market is pricing in a move on NVIDIA between 194 and 170. Holy crap. Right? So you double the at the money straddle. It's about 24 bucks. Let's go look. 194 to the top. Let's just drop a line up there. Holy crap. It's not even on. It's not even on here. I got to open the chart up a little bit. 194. And then what? 170 to the downside. That's a big ass. So that what if you're new and Wiz, I have no idea what you're talking about right now. The options market, the prices of the options that expire on Friday are showing that with a high degree of probability, it's going to trade below that and that. This is what we call a wide. You could drive an 18 wheeler through that, and look at how little the thing's kind of been moving a lot lately. Okay, let's go. Let's look at a little Max Payne. Let's go see where there's a lot of options activity and open interest, where there's a lot of contracts going on by Friday. 180 calls, 200s. Wow, the 194 at the money straddles all the way up there at 194. I mean, so 180, 185, and then third would be 200. What are the puts? 180, 170. So a lot of activity, folks, as I told you, kind of around the at the money straddle. All this rambling I'm doing with NVIDIA right now is to give the answer to the person who asked, would you do this? Would you wait for earnings? No. Any trade that I do that's long-term bullish out into the future, I do it when I'm talking about it. What if after market close, the Wang guy or whatever his name is says the last quarter sucked and the future sucks and the AI bubble's gonna burst and the stock goes down 50% after whatever. That's not going to happen, but you know what I'm getting at here is I don't know. This is a pretty solid run into an earnings report. So, any questions on that? Yeah, it's a if you do the math, what's that? 20 yeah, 6.5, 6.5% move in the stock. Gary, you're absolutely right. Steve, what is the concern of an assignment of the short put in the dead zone? Steve, it's a normal, remember, folks, it's a normal bull put spread. Okay. So, yeah, well, let me answer Steve with the academic immediate answer. You run the risk of assignment at any time during an options trade, period. The risk of assignment goes up, obviously, the deeper the money in the put goes. But your long put in that bull put spread has you hedged, and you have another put on that's printing money. Do you run the risk of assignment? Of course you do, but you're covered, right? Does that make sense? Okay. We still need to. I got way too tactical. Let me ripple through some of the stuff. NVIDIA, we talked about the stagnant job market. We talked about Powell last week being, again, the market heard what it wanted. I try and look at these things from an independent view. I didn't hear what that was, and I already briefed you Monday and Tuesday on what this was a short squeeze, and it's ending. This was not a super relief rally. There was a lot of people thought he was going to bring the heat. I was shocked. I got it wrong. A lot of people I know got it wrong too. They're like, but again, talking to some folks, they're like agreeing that that was a way too dovish reaction out of the market. When you hear words like that, that means it was most likely a short squeeze. Short squeezes. Because think about this, folks. If the market believed that rally and oh my God, Pal's a cutting machine, we'd be doing this. We're not. Why don't you keep buying? If you thought Jerome that was he was super dove. Well, actually, he kind of wasn't. And you're right, Wiz. He's most likely going to do a hawkish cut. Let me remind you, we have two, three incredibly important reports before they meet in 3 weeks. We get another non-farm payroll. If it sucks, Trump's going to be on True Social immediately. I fired the BLS chick. She's gone. These numbers are still cooked, but we'll fix them. If it's blowout, good. He's going to, of course, say it's because he's God and he does everything great. But we also get CPI and PPI before they meet. If all of that stuff sucks, folks, he'll still cut 25. So the pitchfork and torch crowd don't come after him and say we're going back to being data dependent or whatever his language is. So this is how many times have I told you? As soon as that guy got done talking to Jackson Hole and said, "Thank you, good night, try the veal," we're done with him. They're already looking, they're talking about the December rate cuts now. Everybody's done with talking about September. So I don't, I was not as dovish as everybody else. Delicate position. We might give you a rate cut, man, but I'm doing it to keep my job. Yesterday was funny. This is all ridiculous. And the Wall Street Journal makes the New York Times look conservative. Trump's Fed aggression poses new legal test of presidential power. Move to fire Lisa Cook comes after the Supreme Court signaled intention to protect the central bank's independence. So they are accountable to no one. The legislative branch is accountable to voters. The executive branch is accountable to the legislative. They can impeach. The judicial branch is accountable to both of those branches because the judicial branch can be impeached. Supreme Court justices can't, but so everybody in our government is technically accountable except the Fed. What? I didn't vote for this. So this will be a test. And let me remind people, in case you forgot, uh, where is it? Let me just show you some notes here. Oh, right here. As a reminder, Fed governors resigning is not an unusual practice. 2021, Kaplan, stock trading, resigned. Boston Fed, Rosengren, I remember this, stock trading, resigns. Clarita, I don't remember this one, resigns. Lisa Cook, Biden DEI hire, I'm staying on. You clearly committed mortgage fraud. Primary residence, and oh, by the one I'm lying about, I'm also going to put up for rent. It's a crime. I'm staying on. Okay, of course you are. So, you know, yeah, she's clearly committed mortgage fraud, which is a crime for everybody, but she's also a Fed governor. That's cause, folks. And don't give me the but. It's only an allegation. It's a 5 minute investigation. This ain't January 6th commission. This your signature? This the place you claimed as your primary residence? And this one too? And then you rented this one? That's fraud. Investigation complete. You're fired. The no one is above the law crowd sure doesn't like it when no one is applied to them. I don't get how long this investigation is supposed to take. And Jerome Powell, what did he say? And don't forget, folks, the Fed is not an apolitical entity. Do you remember when Trump was running for reelection? New York Fed president, Bill former, he had just left the New York Fed, Bill Dudley in Bloomberg. The Fed shouldn't enable Donald Trump. They should raise rates. They should not provide offsetting stimulus so he gets reelected. Whoa. I told you that the Fed, for the first time in their history, later in that day, actually had to they released a press statement that said, he's not a current Fed president, and we are an apolitical institution. Shut up. Don't take a leak on my leg and tell me it's raining. You're not apolitical. So I remember all of this stuff, folks. But the Fed issued a statement yesterday, didn't they? And of course, Tamu Obama, Hakeem Jeffries, plays the race card. It's because of racism. Everything's because of racism. But here's what the Fed said. Lisa Cook has indicated through her personal attorney she will promptly challenge this action in court and seek a judicial decision that would confirm her ability to continue. As always, the Fed will abide by any court decision. Oh, there's the hedge, baby. So the answer is, Chairman Powell, she still has access to her email. You didn't take her key card. She's still working at the Fed. Now I'm going to fire you for cause. So, folks, this should be super quick. I mean, I don't think I can't stand the way we are using the emergency docket with the Supreme Court, but when you get these district judges unelected overruling the president, the duly elected president of the United States, here we are. So does this go super quick? If it goes super quick, and this will be tough, folks. Let me make my prediction right now. 5-4. Roberts liberal, because he is. It'll be a 5-4 in favor of firing her. They can't be unaccountable. The executive branch, If you can appoint them, President appointed uh, Jerome Powell. He blames Steve Mnuchin now. So the dude that appointed you can't fire you. It's a one-way door. So this is going to be this is big, folks. And again, this impacts the market. This is why we're talking about this, man. But she is a raging hyper partisan. She has zero shame. And a lot of people, and it's funny watching the liberals on CNBC twist themselves into pretzels, right? Well, cause technically should be the way most people read it is because of if they do something wrong in their current job, not in the past. Let me get this straight. Let's say it comes out she DUI manslaughter conviction years ago that she didn't. She's still cool, or she just murdered somebody allegedly. We got to wait for 3 years for her to go to trial. She can still serve it. Come on, man. Where is the law line? Where is the crime line? She's a Federal Reserve governor who committed mortgage fraud, and you think that's not cause to fire her? She has to do something bad in that job? These people are, and again, Steve Lee, I can't stand all those people on CNBC. Joe Kieran is the only rational guy. Um, so it's interesting. We're gonna see what goes on here. We already talked about this. The tech rally's running out of steam, and AI. I beat the dead horse. Go watch everything from yesterday. I'm not going to talk about it again because we have a lot more to talk about. But again, let me remind you, Wiz, I watched yesterday. You're an idiot. Distinct possibility. Everything's going to rip. Do the exact opposite of what I said. Wiz, NVIDIA is going to a trillion. Do a synthetic stock. Go out into the future. I went out in the future and got bearish in case the bubble pops. You go out into the future and get bullish. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what makes a market. Two people disagreeing, buyer and a seller. I would be shocked if the AI bubble does not pop. Once we see people out of work, white collar jobs disappearing. We had a friend, very close friend, lose her job yesterday. Susie told me on the way to yoga because of AI. I'm like, oh my God, it's not coming, it's here. So anyway, anything else before we get tactical and trade? Already talked. Oh, Amazon. Did everybody get the alert yesterday? My solo Amazon and lifetime people. Did you get the alert? I have an Amazon Iron Condor going down range. I legged into it. Does everybody understand what that means? If you joined me on Monday, solo Amazon, I shot a bear call spread, right? Let's talk about legging into something. So, bear call spread is a roof. The roof is on fire. What's the 232 and a half? So 232 and a half is all the way up here. So I put a ceiling on. Bear call spread. Amazon's not going to go above 232 and a half by Friday. That's a bear call spread. It's the roof. Yesterday, I sent out an alert that did a bull put spread, the 225 and a half, 220 bull put spread. Okay. That is where is that? Down here, all the way down here. So the roof is up there, the basement's down here. Amazon can run all over the place. Don't go through the roof, don't go through the basement, Amazon. I make maximum profit by Friday. And remember, for all the new folks, if you're just trade stocks, you're like, wait a minute. If I buy Amazon and it sits here all week and doesn't really do anything, I don't make any money. Duh. That's why you're an options trader. Amazon can quote do nothing this week but move sideways and you make money. Anybody have any questions on that? Let me show you the risk management. What's the metrics of that trade right here? It's up 30%, 770 bucks. Analyze. Risk in 4,800 to make 2,700, a 73% probability of the max profit in the Iron Condor, 81% probability of making something. Now, if you're new, welcome. Go watch the options weapons school training for Iron Condor because you're probably sitting there going, wait, why are there two break-even prices? How can a trade have two break-evens? Because an Iron Condor is technically two trades. Here's the bull put spread, and here's the bear call spread. So there's a break-even right there, and there's a break-even right there. And there's the dollar amounts. Okay. Remember, in an iron condor, the football, it's the dotted line is Amazon, it's the football. Let me just put an upright right here. As long as Amazon goes through the uprights, doesn't have to split them, man, it can go Chicago Bears, hit the upright. It needs to go in though, not out, right? We can boing, you can hit one of those as long as it stays above a break even. And remember that I usually, to keep my screen clean, I usually leave it as an iron condor for a while unless I start getting a big move. If I'm seeing a move, I'll break it down into the individual credit spreads. And then I do what? 7, 8, 9, right? If I'm looking at a 70, 80, 90% profit on the credit that I took in, I'll close it. They're not there yet. The bull put spread I placed yesterday is up 50% already, and the bear call spread's at about 21%. So I'm going to hang for now. Remember, what did I tell you the other day? Unched on the day equals time decay. Every day, as soon as I said the word unched, I made money. As soon as I said the word unched just now, and just now, I made money. You get theta, you get time decay. Close the sniper trade for 700 bucks, 40%. Did you see the market turn? There you go. I just made you 700 bucks, 40%. Send that alert out. Trade alerts. I'll keep it in the same thread at everyone. Closing for 40% or 700 bucks. Paste the trade in there and we'll go back to work. Was that hard? Do I look like Gordon Gecko? It is saying hard, folks. A little bit of experience, you'll be able to read the S&P 500 turns. I mean, let's just go look at it real quick. As soon as I saw that smash right there, that big candle down, that's profit, baby. And it did exactly what did I say when it went through here? I said it'll hover and it'll fade. It's almost like I do this for a living and have been doing this for a long time. I said if it didn't keep ripping, it's not gonna keep ripping. We don't usually get on a porch like this after a big run after the open and then do another big rip. We usually have a melt up. This ain't a melt up. This was a sideways. Up, down, up, down, up, down. After we do this, it usually breaks. In this case, after a big run, it's going to break to the downside. Now we might get another. I'm trying. We want to get up there, but join watch options school weapons session, whatever it is now, 8, 9 on all the SPX stuff, and you're going to learn all of this. Any questions about the Amazon Iron Condor, right? This is yesterday, legging into weekly Amazon Iron Condor with bull put spread. Okay. Any question? Somebody's over here in the Q&A. What's that? Wiz, if NVIDIA does tank over the long term, doesn't that hammer your SPX America position since NVIDIA is such a heavy capitalized? No. Great. Whoever asked that, you get a gold star for asking that. No, absolutely not. I get that NVIDIA is a big player, but folks, remember, let's drop anchor here. I love this question. Let's pull up an NVIDIA chart while as background music. That is a very well, what's that? My cousin Vinny. I love that judge, man. Uh, great judge. When what's his name? Not Danny DeVito, the other guy. He's on his little rant. He's like, that was a lucid and well thought out argument. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, it's also overruled. So that's a lucid and well thought out question. It's also overruled. Why? Folks, and let me channel my inner Gordon Gecko. You ready for this? Money never sleeps, pal. And I'm gonna talk in the affirmative. When, not if, the AI bubble bursts. I'm even getting more convinced of this, folks. In the internet bubble, the housing bubble, the tulips bubble, and all of these bubbles, folks, um, I didn't see what we're seeing with AI. Let me explain. 2008, I'm in the board of trade. I didn't see people losing their jobs and reading headlines like the waitress who just got a $600,000 home loan who makes 30 grand a year, it, she didn't lose her job. The .com bubble, when I'm sitting in the ready room in Marine Corps Air Station Miramar trading, I didn't hear this. All you heard was what? Wiz.com. I don't know what Wiz.com does, but it's got .com. I'm going to buy that stock. Folks, all of those bubbles didn't have what AI is doing. Killing, it will kill people. John Connor taught us that. Not killing people yet, or actually, it is killing people, folks. How many times have I shared with you the one lady, like ChatGPT? She went and kid killed himself. Went and read the chats, and she asked a couple prompts like, and the thing admitted like, well, yeah, I did, did do X, Y, and Z. What? So, very long answer, short question. When, and I am going to say this now, when, not if, the AI bubble pops, what's going to happen? That money's got to go somewhere. Gordon Gecko on the beach with the big brick cell phone. Money never sleeps, pal. Money has to flow. And if they're going to ditch an NVIDIA, because remember, folks, you're putting all your eggs in one basket. You want a taste of AI, you're in solo Amazon. Amazon is a big player in the AI stuff. That headline I showed you a year ago. Jeff Bezos, a little sick and tired of hearing about NVIDIA and spending how much on those NVIDIA chips? Yeah, we're done with that. We're building our own in-house. They're going to be faster and cheaper. I told you, I guarantee you, maybe 5 years from now, one of my new slides in my solo Amazon pitch is going to be after Rite Aid, CVS, um, uh, DoorDash, and Instacart. There's going to be a slide on NVIDIA and Intel that Amazon destroyed them. I guarantee you. So the bullish on America trade, if anything, when the AI bubble bursts, people are going to flock to other things, and in my opinion, the S&P 500. Very good question, though. Joe Pesci, thank you. Yeah, Fred Munster, man. Replay page post for the member replays or this full throttle brief. Here's the replay page for members. Primary yesterday, AR today, solo Amazon's down here. Which replay page? Okay. So anything else up here we have to talk about? I already talked about DoorDash. I love this. Andy Jassy, man. Andy Jassy tweet. Hey man, same day delivery with groceries. We're going to expand to 2,300 cities by the end of this year. Holy shit. I love this. And then Amazon Auto. Okay. And then we talked about Amazon thriving in this tariff economy. Again, folks, the money flows. I told you I ran the bonus board at my firm in Chicago for a couple of years, man. If I brought a dude in and he showed me his book and he was in cash all year, first of all, it wouldn't happen within a week. We would have fired him. But hey, Wiz, look at me. I stayed in cash all year. Okay, you're fired. Money has to flow. Hedge fund managers, professional traders, you know, whoever, they don't get paid for sitting in cash. So when, not if, the AI bubble bursts and NVIDIA comes back to earth. I mean, folks, look at IBM, look at Intel, look at all the once high flying stocks of technology. They're a joke. What's Intel doing? I almost took my eye out. Intel, INTC. We talked about this last week. Somebody hit me with it again, like, hey, should we look at this? It's the news is already out there. I don't, first of all, think it's constitutional. I don't, this is a disgrace to me. The president, well, we're making, I don't give a shit, dude. But somebody's like, well, if, like you said, it's got a government put underneath it. I mean, look at this stock. This is Intel. There's Intel inside both these things I'm looking at. It says right here, Intel Core, Intel Iris graphics. Yeah. On both these computers. Intel inside. It's a $24 stock, man. It was a $70 stock at one point. Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted to look at. Ladies and gentlemen, look at Intel in the dot com. I remember Intel. God, I used to trade Intel. You're right. Look at the 90s, folks. Naval Air Station Lemoore, El Toro, Miramar, $77 stock. It's at 24. Well, NVIDIA's not been around that long, but I mean, yeah. Oh, AMD. I forgot about AMD. Yeah. Is Trump going to take, money in that thing? AMD. Yeah. So anyway, okay. Uh, so whoever, I forget who asked that. I think it was in one of the threads. I'm like, I don't feel it. You can. Wiz, there's a government put under Intel. It's back, baby. Do it, man. This is what makes a market. I wouldn't. I haven't traded Intel and since I was in a flight suit, man. So I wouldn't. Boeing's got a government put under it too, and so no. All right, for man, I went way long. I'll keep going if you don't mind me going a little late because we got to talk about MindMed. I just had a great call yesterday with Dr. Deborah Mash from Demorex. She had just gotten off a call with somebody in the Texas Ibogaine initiative. There is so much good shit going on in the psychedelic space. It's staggering. We're getting there. Again, it's never quick enough, especially you guys know me with my passion trying to help people. And I got a call from an old Hornet guy. This guy he was on his way out. Remember talking to him on July 3rd in Aspen. We got him down to Ambio, and he called me 2 days ago, crying, critter, call sign critter. I'm like, oh my God, what happened, man? Because he had just gotten home from Ambio. Wiz, you saved my life. I can't even tell you how good that feels to hear something like that, man. I'm like, oh my God, hour call with this guy. He's like, man, I am going to put the ladder down. He's like, I kind of knew it when I was talking to him in July. I'm like, man, you're loved. I mean, was in such a bad place. Anyway, not to get off on it. Well, it's not a tangent. Why aren't we doing this? I'm doing it. Sacred Warrior Fellowship. You can kiss my ass. I've never been more connected with God than I currently am in my life right now. What are we waiting for? And that's another reason you should join Top Gun Options is because you have the ability to what? Invest in things like Demorex and Dr. Mash and all this stuff. So for all the new folks, exactly, Mo. It was great. It's great. He's like, Wiz, it's it's I feel like and we have a retreat coming up. We got a couple TGO people coming. Can't wait to see you guys, meet you guys for the first time. I always feel like, Susie and I sitting there with our coffee, Christmas morning. When people show up on a retreat, when I was talking to this guy on the phone, he's like, all right, Wiz, I'm driving to say he lives out in Arizona. He drove to San Diego and took the convoy down to the thing. I'm like, I'll see you on the other side. And it's so funny because when I type that, and I know when they read that, they're like, yeah, okay, I'll talk to you in a week. I'm like, no, I actually mean it. So it's so cool because, when he texted me, he's like, hey man, do you have time to talk? I got back a week ago. I'm like, yeah. Because I just sit there with my robe on and my cup of coffee, just sipping, going, lay it on me, man. Because I just know. So for all the new folks, again, I didn't mean to ignore you this week that hard. Let's ripple through them that you should buy with both hands. MindMed, do it right now, immediately. MindMed, MM120, folks. Um, who is that? Slash what? NVIDIA for what? The the ratio, the 1 by 2 yesterday. So let me help Slash out real quick. My brother. Slash is an Air Force guy, so he's a little slow. Speak slow to Slash. So slash, uh, I forget the strikes. We'll pull them up real quick. Did you get that? So let me show you this real quick. I'm glad Slash asked this live. So on the replay page, folks, let me go down. Let me scroll down here. I actually put the manuals. Does every or the PDFs you see over here attached files? So the NVDA backspread analysis and the bubble pop sheet, they're over here. They're kind of hidden, but over here where it says attached files are the attached files. Does everybody know that going forward? I'm going to start doing that. So anytime I posted them in the threads too, but anytime we cover anything in a brief where I have a handout, it's going to be over here on the right on the attached files. Everybody good? But slash there's the ratio, the put back spread. It's the you're buying real quick. Let me just tell people you're doing a bull put spread. You're selling the 180, buying the 150 put, and then you're also buying another put. The bull put spread funds the long put. Okay. The most you can ever lose is what? The width of the bull put spread, essentially, and the premium of that put. So I did a 1x2 that's risking 3,300 bucks to potentially make close to 12 grand. And obviously you can do like 2x4. It's you just keep the ratio, that ratio. Any other questions on that? I'm glad you asked that, Slash, so I could show where the attached files are over there. Exactly. Got enough. I put the ladder down to help my Zoomy brothers and sisters out. Where's Arrow? We got a F-15 Strike Eagle lady. All right, so new folks, MindMed, buy it. Now, we are right on the edge, ladies and gentlemen, of a whiz SOP. What's one of my SOPs? I don't trade options on stocks under 10 bucks. Why? The stock's the option. If it's a $5, let's go look at a tie real quick. That's the other one. ATAI. I'm hearing insanely good things about a tie after yesterday's call on ibogaine, and I'll leave it at that. So, folks, like for a tie, it's 474 right now. That's like the price of a call option. So just buy the shares. But if you want to go super cheap lottery ticket, then it's fine. That's just a whiz rule of thumb. Go out to Feb of 2026 and buy some call options. I mean, look at that. I'd go out and buy some upside calls and lottery ticket calls, I call them. I'm going to remind you folks, even though I could not be more bullish on this stuff, a tie can go to zero. Breaking news, they're phase 3, everybody died, the tie's at zero. I warned you. Can it happen? Yeah. Will it? No. But go buy 10 of the Feb 26 7.5 calls. 800 bucks, put them in your filing cabinet, forget about them. Breaking news, Atai just announced it's being acquired by Pfizer, and the stock's up to $30 right now. Boom. So it's up to you. Either buy the shares or do the options. Okay. There you go, Celia. I love it. Mitch printing money on the Atai. Love me some Mitch. 170% on his Atai. Let's go back to MindMed. I did synthetic stock on MindMed recently. I think it's in this account. And I sold some calls against it. Yeah. Let me show you my current MindMed position. Right there. I did synthetic stock at the 10 strike. I bought a protective put at 7, and then I sold some calls out to September. I circled the wrong things, but you get it. Wiz, I have no idea what the hell synthetic stock is. Well, you will when you join and you go do your options weapon school training on synthetic stock. Right? Right. So if you joined me yesterday, the 1x2, the put thing on NVIDIA was bearish out into the future. Better not have to join that group. This, something called synthetic stock, is bullish out into the future, right? So you can be two things. Wiz, I am long-term bullish in the future on the psychedelic sector. But I am at the same time long-term bearish on AI. It's going to kill everybody. You're right. We won't be around to see it, thank God, but it's going to happen. Right there, synthetic stock is options weapon school session 6. So I got Cybin. Oh, that's the other one I'll tell you about. Cybin. Let's go look at Compass again. I mean, I'm not a CYBN is a big one that Bobby Axelrod from Billions is in. You know who I'm talking about. Steve Cohen, not Bobby, the fake guy, but he's big into psilocybin, man. His son was a Marine, combat Marine, healed with psilocybin. He, this is also one that should pop. And the last one is Compass, CMPS. That's a freaking run. $2.30 to $5. You made 100% on Compass if you bought it. And but look at what it does, folks. Anybody see a trend? Rip, implode, rip. Again, these are how much is it? 475. Another one you could buy the stock. I hate that they're doing this, man. I want to get with Cybin and Atai and the SIBO and go, give me some June 27s out here, man. Give me some real leaps. I don't need a Fed 26. Get me out here. Could you imagine how cheap those? I mean, seriously. As it is, after the Fed 26s, there's a lot of activity, obviously, in the fives and the seven and a halves. So you could buy these call options too, right? Let me remind you, if you don't like picking winners and losers, you can look at Sill, not from The Sopranos. Whoa, I looked at Sill and holy shnikes. $9 to 18. You made 100% in Sill. What is Sill, ladies and gentlemen? It gives you a little bit of everything that I just told you. It's a psychedelic ETF. You don't take it and see anything. It's an ETF. What are the holdings of Sill, Wiz? Look at their number one holding. I might go buy some Sill. A tie. MindMed. Oh my God, they rebalanced to the Wiz. This is the Wiz ETF. It's not Sill, it's WHIZ. First, second, third. Did I just do this in that order? No, I did Cybin third. That's the universe speaking. And then it's got a bunch of other good names that I've heard of as well that are in the space doing all the good work. If you don't want to pick individuals, those four, get them in here and get them down some other names. Folks, this is like a blackjack table. 3 names on this list will go out of business. 3 names on here will be bought by Moderna and go to a trillion. That's most likely what's going to happen. That is really cool. I find that Compass and Cybin are the top four. So if you didn't press buy on all those names already, go buy Sill. Did they come out with? I've been bitching about this for a year. Please tell me they did. Eh, like the last time I looked at Sill, they didn't have options. So there you go. You could actually, and it's $17. So buying the shares is a little bit of pricey here. So why don't you could? But there's really no. I mean, here's the problem, folks. You ready? It's Mr. Blutarski's GPA from Animal House, 0.0. So I mean, legally, technically, a market maker, there's a market maker in Sill options would have to make a market, but they're not going to fill you on some of these options and lose money on it. So you'd have to pay up. Does everybody understand that too? Market makers get I know a lot of market makers and they are filthy rich people. They make money off the bid-ask spread, folks. They make a market, but they're not a 501(c)(3). They're not Sacred Warrior Fellowship. Does everybody understand that? So this one you might have to it's like I do this for a living. So there's Shrek. If you think the Air Force guys and gals are bad, we got Marines in here too. Been here since 2014. Couldn't spell option. Now look at me. He stole my line, man. I used to say for my Marine brothers and sisters, they can't spell the word option. But yeah, so Still doesn't have a lot of volume. So this one you might have to pony up and buy the shares. But I just showed you, man, this is not a bad idea. The ETF is a good way to go. Um, is there's not even, I mean, is this real? There's not even activity at the money. I mean, let's go to a front month here. I feel like I'm in a cave yelling, like, is there anybody in here? Hello. There's one. This is weird. Look at that. 15 bucks and some at the money calls. That's funny. So anyway, we need so let's since we're never I'm always present, but the market's never present. Let's project our thoughts forward in space and time. When, not if, breaking news on a tie, breaking news on my meds, 5N Compass, people are going to start really poking their noses in here and probably do look at Bitcoin to people who are all freaked about like you know, mining and all sorts of weird shit, they go to what? I remember what happened to Bitcoin the day the ETFs got approved by the SEC or whatever it was. It ripped. So for people dipping their toe in, I think SIL is going to be a good way to do it. So maybe you do buy 500 shares or something like that. If there's no options activity, or you're going to have to really pay it. Remember, one of my buddies told me years ago, famously, why is divorce expensive, Wiz? It's worth it. You know what, Wiz? I don't mind paying up a little bit to a market maker to buy some upside calls on this ETF. Let me go to all strikes real quick. I think that's it. I can't scroll anymore. So the highest strike you can get. So look at the bid ask, folks. Zero, ask 205. I mean, that's just, and I guarantee you, you're never going to get, clearly not going to get filled. You're not going to get filled here. That market maker is going to sit there. You might have to come in at 205 to get filled. Why is the worst expensive? It's worth it. Why did I pay up to the SIL calls? Because Wiz, it doubled in a month. Can it double again in by April of 2026? Hopefully by is it July? July of 2026. Many of us are up on an exchange floor as Healing Realty Trust goes public. So, does everybody get that? Yeah, man, the spreads are huge, but I just gave you instruction. I mean, if you wanted to, Wiz, I'd spend a grand. Well, you might spend two, but again, one more time, it might be worth it for you, right? You and me both, Scott. I can't wait. And everything. I don't know if I got to be careful with Demorex because NDA and all sorts of stuff. Let me talk in generalities. The ibogaine call that I had yesterday with Dr. Mash and a bunch of people after she talked to the Texas, it's a coming. So Demorex is a coming, and HRT is incredible because it started day one cash flow positive. We own existing medical businesses that are printing money. When, not if, ibogaine's approved in the U.S. Our clinic, everything we're doing. That you're in AR accelerated retirement. Those are both of my retirements, Demorex and HRT, man. So you and me both, Scott. All right. Man, I went way long. My apologies, but it's good. We had a good time. Go watch the replays. For all the new folks, my yoga friend, don't forget Solo Amazon, separate service every Monday at 10. That's the way to go. It's a good gateway drug. And then obviously, Full Throttle is the full Monty. The primary, the AR brief, the options weapon school training, and the hunters, right? If you want to be in that investment club, get those alerts that I just did in this trade brief. There she is. And welcome aboard. I didn't mean to shun the new folks, but like I said, we did a lifetime push last week and got three great Americans. Thank you. You paid for the next retreat, which is that makes my heart smile. I don't care if TGO loses that money, man. When you can help people and it's so funny, man. Like Thursday when I went to Rising Ridge. 15, these were 15 combat vets, man. There were some amputees, there was some this was a hurting unit. And it's funny just seeing everybody arrive on Thursday. They see each other on a Zoom call and kind of but when everybody meets for the first time, before the retreat starts, so everybody's kind of a little standoffish or just, I don't know what's going on. Sunday when people leave and they're hugging and crying, they're all best friends now. It is the coolest thing in the world. And to hear people use those type of sentences like, "Hey, Wiz, you're right. I can find gratitude in my suffering. It brought me to where I am today." If you can find gratitude in your suffering, you're making some money. Not making You're doing some good. So that's all right, Scott. Well, hopefully, Scott, they right. So here's my between us ladies, Scott. Here's what I'm going to do when HRT goes public and we get a shitload of shares or however that works. I'm gonna, we get whatever. I don't even know. Let's say we get 10,000 shares of Healing HRT, ticker symbol HRT. I'm going to be selling covered calls against my shitload of shares, and that's my monthly, retirement income. Covered calls against all your HRT shares. That's what I'm going to be doing. But if you miss Demerex, um, hopefully Demerex goes public or gets acquired, and whatever company acquires it, I'm going to be trading in that name too, right? So Scott brings up a good point. If I think HRT is still accepting investors, but you got to be accredited, and I think it's 100 grand minimum. If you are interested, I can turn you over to Cody, or maybe they give. I don't know if they're still giving the TGO drug deal at 20. If you're interested in HRT, email me because I think they are still letting TGO people think around and do the 25. Um, so I can hook you up there. If people are asking HRT, let me just show you real quick. Oh, my sacred word, there it is, HRT investor presentation. So, folks, if you know HRT is, it's Healing Realty Trust. Yeah, you know what they are. Because somebody wrote me about a month ago, we got him in, a TGO member. I think it is 25 grand, folks, for HRT. I'm wrong. It's 100 grand accredited investors for uh, the world, and then TGO gets the 25. But we own existing, we're buying a shit ton, own a shit ton of existing medical spaces, right? They're making we made money day one. We're currently making money. They've just hired a bunch of people. Like this thing is really growing. What we're getting at is down the road, folks. Is MAHA, right? Make America Healthy Again. We are because you're not going to be able to do MDMA in your doctor's office, sitting on an examining room table with wax paper and a National Geographic on the table from the 70s. It's got to be a beautiful place. It's got a couch or a bed. It's got its own bathroom. There's cameras in there, two big nice chairs for people holding. The infrastructure does not exist. And it's visionaries who blaze a path like, oh, that's what I forgot. If you're not an HRT, folks, before you go, I'm sorry I'm going late. If you're not an HRT and you like what we do, AHR. Let's talk about AHR. Look, holy shit, look at this chart. In February of last year, oh my God, let me go higher. In February of last year, AHR went public. American Healthcare REIT. What do? They copied and pasted what we do. The stock is up 218% in a year and a half. Ladies and gentlemen, AHR, American Healthcare REIT. This is where they went public, February of 24. Look at them today. Folks, I covered AHR a year ago when it was at 20 bucks and I told you to buy it right around here. Yeah, it was the fall of last year. So, folks, since I told you, Cody, not me, Cody told me HR and gave me a brief. He's like, because I asked him, I'm like, some people didn't get in the read. They're bummed. Is there anything out there? He's like, oh, dude, AHR just went public. They copied and pasted. I think they took our pitch deck and they're doing the same thing we're doing. It was at 20 bucks when I told you about that from Cody. Now it's at 43. You're welcome. So hopefully when we go public, they went public at what was it, 10 bucks? So the other one, folks, before I forget, and then I'll let you go. Sabra, SBRA. Now, Wiz, that chart doesn't look essentially like AHR. We talked about Sabra back here before AHR, and that stock is currently up 70%. But here's what you get with a Sabra. Look down here. If you're a dividend person that likes making a little, it's a conservative one of HRT and AHRs. It's a little bit more sleepy, but guess what sleepy gets you? A 6% dividend. So a lot of TGO members have bought this stock. They get the dividend and they also sell covered calls against it. This was another one I forgot to brief you on. My apologies. The new brief the new folks on. Uh And remember, like Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Trump coin, all the coin crap, I don't care about. I like the underlying, the chips, the blockchain, all sorts of that stuff. Same thing with the psychedelics. If you don't like the Atai, MindMed, those are all lottery tickets, Wiz. Go for the infrastructure, the heads and beds, heads and beds, HRT. Shoot me an email, Wiz. I'd like to know if I can invest in HRT. I'll turn you over to Cody and Dan. Uh, or you go AHR or Sabra for a nice dividend. I think AHR even has a little scratch. Let's go look at the dividend for AHR. It's not insignificant. It's like a bank, 2.37, 2.35. Forgot about those. But look at that chart, baby. Told you last October, man. Cody told me. I said, man, people are pissed they missed out on the HRT. He's like, look at AHR. Any questions? Good stuff. Hey, I canceled the brief for tomorrow because we weren't supposed to be doing a full throttle this week. So I got so much shit to do, and then we're leaving Friday to go to Ole Miss. So I had to pull all my Friday stuff full due to Thursday. So, but you got 3 full days of live trading and training for free anyway for all the new folks. For all the members, you got quality, standard awesomeness that you always get. Okay. If anybody has any questions, shoot me an email. All the new members. I got questions. Wiz at topgunoptions.com. WHIZ. Sounds like a radio station. Good morning, WHIZ radio, all day, all options. But if you want to take a look at the different services, you just go to our homepage. It's under trade groups. There's a little pull down. Click on that. It explains full throttle. Click on that. It explains solo Amazon. Other than that, man, thank you, Mo. I appreciate it. Hotty toddy. I think they're playing. What about the football? So what is it? Ohio, Texas? We got the national championship Saturday. Saturday, what was it? And then the Catholics versus the convicts. We got Notre Dame, Miami. The Irish, the Fighting Irish haven't won in Miami since 1977. Going to be some good football this weekend, folks. Go Bucks. There we go. Did we hit all-time high? 40, 64, 79. We're going to fail up here. I'm telling you. Let's go look at SPX real quick. When you get the periscopes up, like trying to feel a little bit, that's usually a slam. Hopefully, everybody get out of their sniper. Let me go 3 months. We're quadruple topping it up here, man. 1, 2, 3, 4. A quadruple top is rarely bullish. It can be. It's rarely. I mean, if we hit this with airspeed, what's the all-time high? 64.81 is the all-time high. But this is that's not a bullish looking chart. Remember, bounce off the 20, bounce off the 20, bounce off the 20, shorter bounce. Nah. The bounce off the 20s are getting tighter. That's not bullish. But yep, all-time 64.81 is the all-time high. So, but we'll see. All right, guys. Sorry I went way long. LSU Clemson. I forgot about that. Oh, that's a great game too. I can't stand what's his name. When he left, when he did that to Notre Dame, isn't it funny? Freeman. So he leaves Notre Dame for LSU. Like CFLs went in the locker room, like I'm leaving. I told you I wasn't leaving, but I am. I got a LSU jet at the airport in South Bend by. Everything he wanted to achieve at LSU at Notre Dame, and that's why he left to go achieve it at LSU. The Freeman guy has achieved at Notre Dame. They went to the national championship, did all sorts of stuff. So suck on that. Anyway, all right, guys, I'll get the replay posted here shortly. I'll send out an email. Everybody else, if you're a free person, we're all free people. Make sure you sign up. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Fights on. Namaste. And Basi Basi. Whiz out. I'll talk to you guys later.